This an ePortfolio tutorial. How to create an assessor. This video will guide you through the process and explain how to create an assessor through ePortfolio as a centre administrator. Assumptions. You have access to ePortfolio. You are a centre administrator. If you are a multi-role user, you have selected the centre administrator from the active role menu. You wish to create a new assessor role. Log into ePortfolio. From the home screen, select Manage Centre Users, which is located under Centre Overview at right. You will now be brought to the user screen. Click Create User at the top of the screen. A pop-up window will appear, Create User, which requires all the fields marked with an asterisk to be completed. Enter the user's first and last name. You will note that the system automatically creates a username for you. Note, you don't have to use this. If you choose, you can enter a preferred username. However, if this already exists in ePortfolio, the system will add a numeric value to the end. An example, Joe Blogs already existed, the system would give you the option to add Joe Blogs 1. Next, enter a password. Note, don't use a preferred password at this point, as the system will require the user to change it the first time they log in. All roles, with the exception of Learner, require an email address. Select a role from the list below. You must select at least one role. When the user logs in, they will be asked which role they would prefer to access the system as, meaning you don't have to have multiple usernames and passwords to access ePortfolio. Once you have selected your role, select Add Detailed Information to this user. Then select Save. A message will be displayed at the top of the screen confirming that your user has been added. The screen will refresh and you'll be taken to the User Details page. You are now on their Personal Details screen. The following information is displayed. At left you have further options to change profile photo, reset password, archive a user, and assign qualifications, etc. The centre of the screen details the assessor's personal details, contact details, address details, and assessor details. Below assessor details, you will note there are several options. Number 1. Qualified. This is the default selection. If your assessor is an unqualified, you will need to uncheck Qualified and then select Countersign Assessor from the drop-down list. This is populated with a list of the assessors already in ePortfolio. Each time an unqualified assessor submits an assessment decision, it will automatically be sent to the countersigning assessor to review and approve. For the purpose of this tutorial, we'll assume the assessor is qualified. 2. Can assign units to learner. 3. Can add learners. By default, these are unselected. The reason for this is some organisations prefer to say who can assign units to learners. A majority prefer initial assessments take place to understand which units the learner will be working towards, and they'll update their own learner management system before updating ePortfolio. If you want your assessor to update ePortfolio after the initial assessment takes place, select Can Assign Units to Learner. Otherwise, leave this unselected and the centre administrator will be responsible for carrying out this section for all learners. The Can Add Learners option is unselected, because this is the only role that generates an invoice. Therefore, by giving someone permission to add learners, you're effectively giving them permission to spend money on behalf of your organisation. If you don't select this, the centre administrator will be responsible for creating all learners once they sign up to a course. Once you have updated the assessor details, click Save at bottom right. A message will be displayed confirming the details or the permissions have been updated. You will now need to link qualifications that the assessor is occupationally competent to deliver to their profile. To do this, select Assign Qualifications at left. Click Edit at top right. A pop-up window will appear. A list of the qualifications your organisation are approved to deliver will be displayed. If a qualification doesn't appear, it will be because the qualification end date has passed, or you've not been given approval for it. Select the qualification by clicking on the checkbox at right. Next, select the internal verifier that will be responsible for the quality assurance of the assessor's work from the relevant drop-down menu. Note, if the internal verifier doesn't appear in any of the lists, it's likely they haven't been assigned the same qualifications to which have been selected, and you will need to update the relevant internal verifier's details before proceeding. If you wish to assign more than one qualification and internal verifier to your assessor, repeat these steps as necessary. Once you have selected all the qualifications and internal verifiers, click Save. A message will be displayed confirming that the qualification has been added. The screen will refresh and you will see the qualifications page has been updated to reflect the changes.